Hey everyone, it is Mariel with Fathom Realty. Thanks for tuning in this week to Mariel's Realistic Real Estate Advice. Today I'm going to be going over a little question that I get from buyers all the time. And on the listing side, some sellers just asked about the status of the home. So if you're looking online or your real estate agent has given you access to the MLS portal so you could search for homes meeting your criteria, you'll see that there is always a status that is associated with the house. So we're gonna go over all the statuses that you might see and then what they mean. That way you have a better idea of where it's at in terms of if it's on market or off market and where they are and in the contract that is already executed and then what it means. All right, so the first status that we're going to talk about, and the most obvious one, is active. So when you're searching online or through the MLS portal, if you see that a home is active, that means that it's still active in the real estate market. It is still for sale and that there is no current executed contract on the home. The next one I want to talk about is coming soon. Sometimes when you're driving by and you'll see a house with a little sign underneath the for sale sign, it says coming soon. And that is there to build anticipation and excitement because when you see it, that means it isn't officially on the market, but it will be soon. It's under a listed agreement and it should be hitting the market in the near future. Let's talk about contingent because you'll see this quite a bit. What it means is that the house is currently under contract, but there are a few contingencies that have to be met in order for that transaction to go through, for the house to close. So it could be for many different reasons. It could be because the buyer is currently selling their house and they need those proceeds to purchase that one. It could be contingent upon the buyer getting their final loan approval. It could be stipulations regarding if the survey comes back, if they can build a pool in the backyard or not. It could be many different things. So what contingent means is that they're under contract, and if all contingencies and all requirements are met, then that transaction will close. Let's talk about active kickout. Now, you most likely won't see this unless a realtor has set you up on the MLS portal, the multiple listing service. Basically what that means is that the buyer in the transaction is actively trying to sell their current home and actively pursuing on purchasing another. So active kickout and sometimes contingencies are used, kind of like interchangeably, but basically there is a contingency that the buyer needs to sell their current home in order to purchase another one. Now let's talk about pending. It's that status that gets buyers so upset they didn't jump on the opportunity to purchase the house sooner. Pending means that that home is under contract, it's gone through option period, and it will be closing in the near future. So let's talk about the status canceled. What that means is that the listing agreement that was made between the listing agent and the homeowner, typically in that contract, you have a certain amount of time that is stipulated that the listing agent will be representing the seller and listing the house for them until they find the buyer. Sometimes that time frame comes and goes and the house is still on the market, and the listing contract is then either renewed or canceled. And at that point, if it's canceled, and that the home will then be taken off the market until the seller finds another listing agent that they want to work with to put it back on the market, but it has temporarily been taken off the market, or if the seller decides that they no longer want to move and they no longer want to sell their house, then that listing will be canceled permanently. Let's talk about withdrawn. What does that mean? So when you see the status withdrawn, it just means that the seller wants to hold off on putting the house in the market, so they will temporarily withdraw their house from the market, and more than likely they'll put it back on later. But until further notice, that the home will not be having any showings and it will not be pursuing any offers from any potential buyers. Well guys, I hope that helps. I know for folks looking online, and especially through the MLS portal, looking at the statuses are especially key to finding out if you have a chance to see the home in person and make that offer. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out to me or drop the comments below. If there's another topic that you'd like me to discuss, let me know. My information is on my profile. I hope that you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll be coming out with more videos here. And till then, I will talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful weekend.